Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. Let's continue our discussion on the Fatiha, in which we've reached the 4th verse, in which Allah says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. You alone we worship, and to you alone we turn for help. Now this verse is very important because it affirms two things. Firstly, it affirms that it is to Allah that we direct our worship, and it is to Allah that we call and turn for help. And at the same time as well, secondly, this verse also affirms Allah's oneness, in that He is the only being deserving of our worship and the only being that we turn truly for help. So let's have a look at the Arabic and how this meaning is actually derived from the Arabic. Notice that the words alone are written in red, and this is because their meanings are not immediately apparent from the Arabic. And what I mean by this is that there is no actual word for alone in this verse, because if you look at the word Iyaka, this means you, referring to Allah, and the word Na'budu, this means we worship. So Iyaka Na'budu, from a very superficial or surface translation, means you we worship. And the same thing with Iyyaka nasta'een, you we turn, to you we turn for help. So the question here is, where does the word alone come from? And this word alone is actually very important because it affirms Allah's oneness and how He is the only being deserving of our worship and of us turning for help. So where does it come from? Well, let's see what the scholars of Quranic exegesis have had to say. So they mentioned that Iyyaka na'budu is actually out of the normal order in which Arabic sentences are mentioned in terms of subject, verb and object. Let me clarify what I mean by this. So the normal order of the sentence would have been Na'buduka. Okay, where the verb Na'budu means we worship and ka means you. So it would translate to we worship you. However, what is missing in this sentence is that it affirms that we worship Allah, but it doesn't negate our worshipping of other beings. It's missing this meaning of alone. So how is this meaning of alone expressed? Well, basically by taking the word which means you in Arabic and bringing it to the beginning of the sentence and saying Iyyaka na'budu. And this both means we worship you, as well as it is only you we worship. So, and the same thing is true for Iyyaka nasta'een. The word ka, which means you, is brought to the beginning of the sentence, which then implies that we ask Allah for help, but at the same time it is only Allah that we ask for. It is only to Allah, it is only from Allah that we ask for help. So I see this as very, very powerful, because through even the subtle orders between words, that very fundamental concepts of our belief are expressed. And in this case, it is the Tawheed of Allah, Allah's Tawheed, and His oneness in Him being the only being that we worship, and Him being the only being that we truly turn for help. So I hope you've benefited from this video and increased your understanding of the Fatiha. And once again, if you've benefited from this, please do share. And until next time, ma'as salama.